Welcome back. Manchester United consider emergency signing amid Antony and Jadon Sancho uncertainty. Man United are said to be weighing up a move for ex-Aston Villa winger Anwar El Ghazi amid uncertainty surrounding Antony and Jadon Sancho. This is according to Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mail, where it is claimed that Manchester United are considering signing the free agent. Anwar El Ghazi left PSV Eindhoven by mutual consent last week, and he is therefore available to sign for Erik ten Hag outside of the transfer window. This will be happening in January transfer window. El Ghazi, who is 28 years old, was in attendance at the Emirates Stadium as United lost 3-1 to Arsenal and also has offers from Saudi Arabia. United are currently suffering from major issues in their right-wing slot, with Antony unavailable due to domestic abuse allegations and the future of Jadon Sancho unclear. Sancho is set to be punished after a social media statement last week, and even in the reserves, United currently have injuries to Ahmad and Mason Mount. Meanwhile, Erik ten Hag has 5 things in his in-tray as Manchester United players return to training. The Man United players who didn't go away on international duty are back at Carrington today, and the issues are mounting up for Erik ten Hag. So, Erik ten Hag returns to Carrington on Monday after another tumultuous week for Manchester United, and the Dutchman's in-tray is packed with problems to solve. The international break has only added to ten Hag's dilemmas, with Jadon Sancho's revolt last weekend and the abuse allegations against Antony in Brazil keeping the club in the headlines. United's season is a month old, but already in danger of veering horribly off course, with off-field problems and on-pitch concerns continuing to mount. There have been 2 wins and 2 defeats so far this season, and the fixture with Brighton this weekend looks treacherous. Ten Hag needs to get his team back on course this week while also settling down a squad that is being hit by headlines away from the pitch as well. These are the 5 main issues Ten Hag might need to look at ahead of Saturday's Old Trafford fixture. Sancho meeting, but they already met on Monday yesterday, injury issues, Antony explanation, 2 selection calls, Diego Dallo and Sergio Reguilon, and the last issues he might need to look is to solve a Brighton threat on this coming Saturday, again and again. Let's talk about the decision agreed between Sancho and Ten Hag. Jadon Sancho set to leave Man United as Erik ten Hag shows ruthless edge again in talks. Is Jadon Sancho's Manchester United career maybe over? Jadon Sancho's Man United career looks over after an unsuccessful start to crunch talks with manager Erik ten Hag, according to reports. The 23-year-old winger could leave Old Trafford as early as January after his public spat with Ten Hag has left the pair's relationship in tatters. Sancho was excluded from United's 3-1 defeat at Arsenal earlier this month, which Ten Hag later claimed was due to poor training performances. But the Red Devils' No 25 fired back shortly after with an explosive social media statement, effectively calling his manager a liar and believing he had been made a scapegoat. Sancho and Ten Hag were set for showdown talks upon the return of United's non-international players today. According to the Daily Star, those discussions haven't produced a resolution due to a new lack of trust after the Dutchman was left dismayed by Sancho challenging his authority. Ten Hag's ruthless edge has resurfaced, with Antony's leave of absence not expected to boost Sancho's hopes of game time amid fears he has become a bad influence around the squad. The report adds that the $73 million flop will look to end his United career in January via a loan move with the view of making his exit permanent next summer. But managerial changes, the emergence of Alejandro Garnacho, Antony's $86 million arrival, and reported attitude problems have seen his potential wasted in M16. Sancho has registered just 12 goals and 6 assists in 82 United appearances and hadn't started any of the club's 3 Premier League fixtures before his Arsenal exclusion. 10. Hag's widely hailed treatment of Sancho, while he attempted to resolve physical and mental issues last season, will have intensified disappointment in the England international's behavior. Ten Hag allowed Sancho to take a few months away from the spotlight, appointing personal coaches to work with him in the Netherlands over the winter period. He returned in February, scoring against Leeds United, which looked to set him up to kick on after his early struggles. But Sancho has scored just 3 goals in the 28 games that followed, further garnering criticism for ineffective displays off the bench. Ten Hag's reported stance after talks with Sancho on Monday could be good news for Facundo Pellistri, who has waited for a chance to impress as a regular starter on the right. Again and again, United haven't played this properly over Sancho. Robbie Fowler has hit out at United's handling of the Jadon Sancho situation. I know it sounds a bit cynical, but I can't help thinking the entire Jadon Sancho situation stinks suspiciously like a classic case of wanting a player out, he wrote in his Mirror Football column. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it seems to have blown up before the transfer window closed, and to me, Manchester United have not really played this properly, with what appears to be quite a bit of briefing against their player. Look, he may well have not been training properly, as Erik ten Hag suggested, but I get the feeling there is more to it than that, and I genuinely don't think any party benefits from it all being played out in public. On the other side, Fernandes and Dalot in huge Portugal win. Bruno Fernandes played a major role in Portugal's 9-2 win over Luxembourg tonight. In the Euro 2024 qualifier, he scored once and notched 3 assists. Defender Diogo Dalot also played. While Anthony Brand's accuser a fraudster, Manchester United winger Anthony has hit back at assault allegations made by Ingrid Lana by branding her a fraudster and publishing a series of WhatsApp messages in an attempt to discredit his latest accuser. I don't want to, but I'm being forced to publish a small part of the WhatsApp conversations with Ingrid, which demonstrates that we only had a single meeting, intimate and consensual, Anthony said in a statement on his Instagram Stories account. This matter with this fraudster will be resolved in court. Meanwhile, finally, Dimitar Berbatov has admitted he has left matches early after Arsenal fans copped stick from rivals for missing the dramatic events at the end of their win over Manchester United. I can understand why fans leave early, he told Betfair. This is something Arsenal and Man Ut supporters are doing, and I've done it myself when I go to watch games. You want to beat traffic, but sometimes you can miss goals after 90 minutes. Elsewhere, about Juventus Pogba's statement. Juventus have now released a statement on Paul Pogba's failed Drus test. Juventus Football Club announces that today, the player, Paul Labile Pogba, received a precautionary suspension order from the National Anti-Doping Tribunal following the adverse outcome of the analyses carried out on 20th of August 2023. It read, "The company reserves the right to evaluate the next procedural steps."